talk today about why every new business needs a bookkeeper. My name is Cornel Cesar, and I'd like to explain why you guys need professionally set up books from the very beginning. Starting a new business is an exciting venture, whether it's an LLC, a corporation, or any other type of enterprise. One of the first steps you should take is hiring a bookkeeper. Can everybody see me? This decision is crucial for several reasons. And here's why every new business must have a bookkeeper from the outset. So the first slide is just listing all the top reasons that I thought of. There might be others, but these are my top reasons. You need accurate financial record keeping. We'll set you up with QuickBooks to make sure that happens, or that's actually a big part of the picture. Get your tools cheaper. We can get you discounts because we have partnerships with the leading companies, software vendors. Time savings, work on your business or your books, so it's your choice. If you work on your books, you're not going to have time for your business. Better financial management. How much you make on your product and service is you need to know how much you make on your products and services. Timely and informed decision making. Missing deadlines is very costly. This is very obvious with missing tax deadlines, but just in general, missing deadlines is very costly. Let's say you don't reorder inventory items in time, that can cost you customers. It can cost you money. It can cost a lot of things. Stress reduction, peace of mind. It's easier when you're not alone. Having professional help is going to make it easier for you to get started in your new business. Scalability. Are you planning to grow? If yes, then it's much easier to put things in place at the beginning than playing catch up later on. Your bookkeeping system grows with you, and you will get used to your bookkeeper. So by the time you're big, you have a lot of traffic, a lot of sales. You already have a system and a team in place. Professional expertise. We do books for others as well, so we know more. And this just goes without saying. If we do a lot of it, then we get good at it eventually. So that's the reason why you will benefit from having. That's one of the reasons you will benefit from having a professional bookkeeper, because you get all the skills that they learn for other customers. Supporting business loans and investments. Okay, so if you won't go for a loan, or if you go for a grant, anything like that, you will need an up-to-date balance sheet. So let's look at each of these topics in detail. Accurate financial record keeping. When starting a new business, it's essential to ensure that your financial reporting is accurate right from the beginning. A bookkeeper will set you up with tools like QuickBooks to ensure your financial records are precise and up to date. Additionally, bookkeepers can help you secure software discounts, making tools like QuickBooks more affordable. So the biggest part of the accurate record keeping is compliance. Obviously, you want to make sure you don't break the rules just because you forget to do something or you don't do something correctly. It's very important to categorize your transactions. It's also important because of tax savings. If you you don't have accurate record keeping, how do you know which of your expenses go into tax deductible buckets? So you will actually lose a lot of money if you don't do this. Reconciliation, that just means that your books are, we make sure that every month, or whatever granularity you pay, if you pay quarterly, then every quarter, we make sure that your books reflect what's actually happening in your banks and in your bank accounts. So this is important, because when you look at your bank accounts, you only see the bank account. But when you look at QuickBooks or your accounting system or whatever else accounting system we might put in place, we recommend QuickBooks. then you will see how everything plays together and where you really stand. You can see that from a bank account, unless all you have is a bank account in your entire business, which is unlikely. Error prevention, if you're not doing it alone, if there are other people involved, it's already helping with error prevention. If you have a bookkeeper involved who does this all the time, you will have an even more likely error prevention, because he's going to be experienced in catching problems more than people who are not used to doing this. Organization, this is what I mentioned before. It's very important to put things in the right bucket for many reasons. Because it's often it's the law, but just apart from the law, if so I mean that's the most important thing. But if you just look at your own self-interest, that's what I'm trying to say, then it's very important to be very, very careful with the categories, because an organization, because one category might get you a really nice tax deduction. So it's not just enough to do the bare minimum that the law requires. You actually need a good bookkeeper to look up regulations and rules and so on, to make sure that you categorize your transactions are categorized in a way that then the tax preparer, the licensed tax preparer who prepares your taxes in the end, will be able to make a deduction. If we don't do that as bookkeepers, it's going to be very hard to see where these deductible transactions are throughout the year, for anybody who's trying to do your tax return. Okay, time savings. Let's go to the time saving slide. So focus on core activities. As a business owner, your time is best spent on growing your business, not on managing day-to-day financial tasks. A bookkeeper handles these details, allowing you to focus on strategy, operations, and customer service. For example, if you start in an e-commerce business to sell products online, your time should be spent on sales and marketing rather than bookkeeping. So your core activities are going to suffer. Like if you don't focus on your core activities, but you focus on learning QuickBooks, it's going to have a price, and that price is going to be that you will not spend enough time on marketing, on addressing your customers' concerns, and so on. So the time savings is important because it frees time up for you to focus on your core activities. Efficiency is another thing. Bookkeepers, because we have a lot of practice in doing this, we will do things faster. Things get done faster in a more timely manner. That's just a fact when you have it done by professionals. So better financial management. That's the next bullet point. Cash flow, budgeting, and debt management are three big things in e-commerce. Again, because a cash flow is an issue mainly because of inventory, because you can very easily run out or overstock. You can find yourself in a situation that suddenly you need a lot of cash. Let's say you sold out of a product, and you don't have the money yet, but you have to reorder, because if you don't reorder, then what you're going to have is losing customers, right? Let's say if you're on a platform like Amazon, where they can just click on the next item right next to you selling something very similar, you can very quickly lose customers that way. But also at the bare minimum, you're going to lose sales if you run out of products. So this brings up a cash flow emergency in many situations if you're not prepared for it, where unless you have a lot of cash, you will have to apply for emergency credit, emergency financing. And emergency financing usually provided by the platform, because they're happy to do this at very high interest rates. Emergency financing is very costly to you, and it's going to be a burden that's going to be pulling down your business that you probably don't want. So we can go back and look at your cash flow emergencies, and how you dealt with them, and see if you can come up with a better solution so you can prepare for it. The next item is related to this. The way you prepare for this is budgeting and forecasting. So prepare for these situations, maybe talk to banks up front, and put a system in place so you never have an emergency. Emergencies are always costly. Debt management, we want to make sure you don't pay a lot of money for that. So this is something we will look at, see if we can find better solutions if you have this problem. Okay, so timely and informed decision making. With real-time financial data at your fingertips, thanks to your bookkeeper, you can make informed decisions based on accurate information. This is crucial for strategic decisions such as pricing, investment, and expansion. Regular financial reports such as profit and loss statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements give you a clear picture of what your business's performance is. If you have, depending on the type of business you have, this is more important or less important. But if you have an e-commerce business, this is very important because you need to know if like what we talked about earlier, if a cash flow emergency is evolving, it can happen very, very quickly in an e-commerce business because your product can take off. It can happen overnight, literally, or even faster. So you want to have a fast system with alerts in place. You want to get messages if there's a problem. Maybe you want automated reactions by your company that automatically happens if you start running out of a product to reorder, things like that. So a bookkeeper can help with this because the first step in all of this is making things visible. So that's how we start. We make everything reported, and then putting in a system that monitors and reports and alerts you if there's an issue. And what we talked about earlier, we will also look at how you can remedy these emergencies. But this point is mainly about the fact that you will just know about if there's a problem quickly. The next point is stress reduction and peace of mind. This doesn't seem like a very high up item if you're starting a new business, but trust me, it is, because if you can sleep well at night, you're going to be able to concentrate much better on your business tasks. And if you have a bookkeeper, it means that things are going to be put in the right box for tax preparation and for deductions. And don't forget deductions, because that's your real icing on the cake. Tax preparation is so that you don't get into trouble. That is very important as an absolute baseline to do baseline compliance. But on top of that, putting things in the right boxes will give you the icing on the cake, which is very nice deductions at tax time. All the preparedness, if they come out to visit, you want to make sure that you have a system that's up to date, that's neat, accurate, that's tidy, that you can just look at and give them answers without much stress. It's very, very difficult to do this retroactively. It's extremely difficult to go back and try to piece together history. You want to keep building that history, so when there's an audit, it's all there and they can just look at it. Security, it will also give you a level of security that somebody's watching over your financial records. I'd like to add that in addition to the main line of business for Synchro Consulting has been financial data engineering. So security in a more stricter sense is part of what we do. We understand technology related security, and you will just have security because you have your records in the right hands. But beyond that, we can also make sure your systems are secure because we do a lot of IT work. So that is just part of what we can do that other bookkeepers can do, but we do have the expertise and we can do that as well. Scalability. Scalability, as your business grows, so does the complexity of your finances. A bookkeeper can scale their services to meet your growing needs. Ensure that your financial systems grow with your business. It's much more costly to play catch up with your accounting systems than to have a solid foundation in place from the very beginning. So this is what I mentioned earlier. It's much easier to put the right system in place at the beginning and then just let it grow with you, because most bookkeepers, CPAs charge an enormous amount of money if they have to go back and try to piece things back together. Let's say you have an audit and now you need to have those records put together. It's going to be very, very difficult if you don't have, if it's not ready yet. And it's going to cost a lot of money, because if you have to hire people in an emergency, that's just going to cost a lot of money. It's extremely expensive to go back and retroactively implement an accounting system, sometimes not even possible. You keep costs down by putting solid accounting in place from the start. So I think this is a very important point. It looks like you're spending money when you don't absolutely have to, because you don't have a lot of business yet. But it's just making sure that you won't have a problem when you're actually starting to grow. Professional expertise. This is the next point. Bookkeepers bring specialized knowledge in accounting and finance. They stay up to date with the latest financial regulations, tax laws, and best practices, keeping your business in compliance and financially healthy. They're also proficient in accounting software and can help you leverage technology for greater efficiency. For example, bookkeepers who are QuickBooks Pro advisors can offer advanced expertise and support, ensuring your financial systems are optimized. We are QuickBooks Pro advisors, and we get support in supporting the product. So when we set you up with QuickBooks, we actually have a lot of resources we can draw on to make sure that you get discounts and that you get the best way of training through us. We can train you how to use QuickBooks, besides doing a lot of things for you, but we can also show you how to do things that you want to do on your own. Next point would be supporting business loans and investments. Okay, so if you're at a point that you have to, or you would like to consider going for financing, if you walk into a bank, the first thing they will ask for is a balance sheet. The investors, the same kind of thing: balance sheet, profit and loss reports. Grants, same kind of thing. So you want to be in a position that you can very easily have your business evaluated for a loan, or for anything like that requires a review of your financial records. You don't want to have you don't want a big project in the critical path of that. And the way you do that is your reports must be always accurate and up to date and ready to show. And if you have a bookkeeper, that's what we do. We make sure that your records, your financial reports are going to be up to date. So in conclusion, if you need help setting up a proper accounting system or support in launching your business on a solid foundation, please schedule a 10 to 15-minute meeting with us. We'll guide you through the process and ensure your business is prepared for success. Thank you for listening. So if you feel, and I'm saying here in the slide as well, if this is something you feel you need help with, please schedule a 10 to 15-minute call on the calendar below. So you just put your name in the calendar, pick a slot that's available, and we can just talk over these topics and see what you would like to have help with. Thank you for listening. This is Cornel Cesar.